You asked me to review some videos by Anthony Chaffee. The reason I hadn't done that is because the message of the so-called carnivore diet, which I call the fake carnivore diet, is similar to my message, except that they promote cooking their food, which I'm really against, and they also religiously avoid carbohydrates for no real reason. Those are the main two things that I will go over today.
When you slow cook it like that, it breaks down the collagen and makes it more bioavailable.
Absolutely no proof. As I just said, actually, absolutely religious. There's just as much proof for that as there is for anything in the Bible. Just zero proof. And they just religiously repeat this, and nobody can prove it. And it's a problem because a lot of people will watch it and just blindly believe people like him, because there's a lot of these so-called carnivore guys out there, but he's one of the main ones as far as I know, which is why, seeing as people have this sheep mindset where they just blindly follow, a lot of them will simply believe that this is true, even though it's not at all. Obviously, it's destroyed, it's denatured. You already get less of it anyway.
Obviously, it just falls apart. You can chew it easier. You can eat it much more easily. Your body can digest it and absorb it much more easily.
No proof whatsoever. Just
so it's well established. Cooked food is easier to digest.
So religious. What else can you say? Just nothing, because there's no proof. There's no arguments, no reasoning. Just nothing. There's just nothing even you can respond to.
As well. So you do get a lot more bioavailability out of it. Obviously, some things are cooked out, like taurine and glutamine.
Actually, literally all of the nutrients are heat sensitive, except that some are more heat sensitive, such as the water-soluble vitamins. As we can see in studies, they are destroyed very significantly. It just depends on how much you cook your food. It should be clearly understood that cooking has zero benefits, as in literally zero, just nothing. And there's no proof that it has any benefits, obviously, because cooking is just exposing your food to heat, which is always destructive. So when you cook, you really destroy your food. So really, cooking should have only ever been called destroying your food. Hey, do you want me to destroy some food for you today? Oh yeah, when are you going to destroy your food? In 15 minutes. Okay, come then. Let's have dinner together with this destroyed food. It should have never been called anything else. The language...
By the way, Sverige eats cooked food all the time. People who have lived with him have said he eats mostly like a normal person. He just eats a mix of meat and fruits and vegetables, and he's completely full of shit.
Which really makes it sound like something else. It's the same with fasting. Call it starving, and it sounds very different. Language really manipulates our minds, and cooking is really one of the most manipulative words, because nowadays it means something completely else, whereas in reality it should only mean destroying your food. How long are you going to cook your food is going to also determine how many of the nutrients will be gone. Cook it to charcoal, zero left. Cook it well done, over 50% of the protein, B vitamins, fat-soluble vitamins gone. Cook it rare, not that much gone. Yeah, it's raw in the middle. That's why there's a lot of nutrients left. You can literally see it with your own eyes.
And other sorts of things denature when you cook them, but then you...
Denaturing anything in your life is not good, but especially food.
You get a lot of access to other things that you wouldn't otherwise.
What? Again, is he simply going to say other things and then not name anything? Because that's how these videos...
Yeah, Sverige is wearing a wig. You can kind of see where it's glued. It's not a particularly good wig, but he's wearing a wig because he ended up getting really self-conscious about going bald.
Usually go.
Like those really tough connective tissue that is really...
What are things? You didn't name anything. The connective tissue is the connective tissue. There's no proof that you cannot digest it well. None at all. So he says other things, but I'm pretty sure that he's not going to name anything. And that's always how it is with these videos. That's really the biggest problem with the fake carnivore diet. It's these religious beliefs that they have.
Difficult to digest. Otherwise, that just breaks down and is absorbed very easily. So yeah, you gotta mix them both. It's this.
Yeah, just nothing. It's exactly what you can expect from these videos, just nothing. No proof, no arguments, no reasoning.
Some things become more bioavailable, some things you sort of lose.
Which things? Which things? You didn't name anything. Obviously, nothing can become more bioavailable when you destroy it. It's just so illogical even. Them not having any evidence for what they say is already proof enough. But then to just not name anything, but then say that there's stuff that becomes bioavailable, that should ring every red alarm in your head. It should just make you understand that they just talk and they have nothing to actually say.
You have 4 grams of glucose throughout your entire bloodstream at any given time. That's just a level teaspoon glucose. 1 more gram, 5 grams, that's a toxic dose of glucose in your body. Your body reacts to it as a toxin.
Actually, that's not even true. It differs.
No, that is not true at all. Where do they get these stupid fucking ideas?
But it's pretty low compared to what you eat. We'll see what he says.
Trying to detoxify it by raising your insulin, trying to get that below 4 grams.
Detoxify by raising your insulin? What?
By the way, protein is insulinogenic. So is protein toxic too? Like, these people are just nuts.
Is this a joke? Wait, what? The insulin is produced by your pancreas, and in this case the purpose of it is to transport the sugar to your cells for you to create energy. It's not for you to
That's pretty funny. Sparage is more right than Anthony Chaffee.
detoxify.
Dude, when Sparage knows more about something than you, like, you probably have a fucking problem. Like, Anthony Chaffee's stupid as shit.
Where does he get this? Do people actually watch that and just, again, blindly believe that? Same with the cooked meat. And this is a huge problem in this community.
And it may.
Do you know any cruiser-style electric motorcycles? As far as I'm aware, there are currently no commercially available.
Contains above 4 grams and you have diabetes, that's when people
Someone wants to debate you. Gerald Wallace wants to debate.
will start dying and getting multi-organ failure and getting a.
The way he talks is as if you shouldn't be consuming more than 0 carbohydrates, as in a 0 carb carnivore diet. And then people watch this and believe, oh, what?
No, I don't take any pre-workout supplements.
Over 4 grams of sugar in my blood is toxic. Oh no, I cannot eat carbs anymore. Oh wow, I was eating a toxic diet all along. They probably were actually, but it's not the sugar that's toxic. Oh my god, man. It probably really is like this. There's just way too many religious beliefs that people blindly believe in this community. There is no diet without glycogen in nature. You eat the liver, you're already getting maybe 100.
He said in a few hours from now.
100 grams of carbohydrates, depends on the animal. You're getting,
In your view, is owning a motorcycle cheap?
a little bit from the blood also, from the muscles, if it's very, very fresh and you right away eat the animal. Not the kind of meat that you will eat today, which is old and dried out.
Limbs packed off and kidneys failing and dying. It's because of that one.
How can people who are clueless about motorcycles?
Oh my god, man, this is really bad. This is absolute fear-mongering. This is messed up that he's doing this, because people who have no idea about this topic, they will just blindly believe him and be afraid of eating sugar, even though there is no such a diet in nature.
Extra gram of glucose. We're throwing in hundreds of extra grams of glucose and fructose and
Yeah, and eating 300, 400, 500 grams of carbs a day is abnormal. It would happen sometimes in nature. You would find a tree with wild fruits, and a lot of them are sweet, sure. Most of the ones that we eat today are cultivated and over the top sweet, but there are actual very sweet fruits in nature. They just have a bigger seed, a thicker shell, depending on the fruit, and a lot less fruit flesh, but it's possible that you would find that now and then. You would also find honey now and then, maybe very rarely, depending on where you live. But if you would, then you would eat hundreds of grams of carbohydrates at a time. Again, eating that every day, especially the junk carbohydrates that we eat today, is bad, yeah. And it can lead to diabetes type 2 easily anyway. And type 1, that's a different topic, but that's why children get it a lot nowadays, just because of what they consume. As babies already, it's already wrong right there from the beginning.
Lactose and all these sorts of things, that's harming you. And your body can compensate for that for a while, but not forever. Is fat or protein more important? I have trouble sleeping on carnivore. Any tips? Also, are and honey still bad even though it's different sugar? Well, the problem is it's not different sugar. It's exactly the same kind of sugar. It's fructose and sucrose, and actually the honey has quite a lot of fructose. And so that's the point. I mean, the idea is that it is the same sugar. It's just that it comes with other things that are beneficial, but that's just...
Yes, exactly. Fruits
Matt and his
with vitamin C, for example.
What the fuck?
here.
Of course, DHAA, the animal vitamin C, which we use, is a lot better, but
There's actually a really funny point in that protest where I thought I was actually going to get
it does help you to metabolize the sugar. That's the main purpose of it. That's why wild fruits
Jasmine is...
have vitamin C, but very little sugar in comparison. Nowadays, it's kind of the other way
Yeah,
around.
Jake's okay.
So even though you're eating oranges, you're not getting enough vitamin C compared to the sugar that you're
Jake is a remarkably lazy horse.
getting. It is a pretty big problem because you're going to be using the vitamin C in your liver, spleen, wherever it will be stored from your own body. You're going to be depleting yourself also from magnesium and all of the minerals that you need to use to metabolize the sugar. The biggest problem is when you're eating extracted sugar, all of the syrups nowadays also, then you're eating basically pure sugar, probably with some harmful toxins also because of the way it's made today. And then you're going to be using purely all of the nutrients from your own body to metabolize the sugar. That's really the biggest problem with eating extracted sugar. You can say that it's technically the same sugar, but you really need to be getting sugar from whole foods, if anything.
Same thing as saying that spinach has, these different vitamins and minerals, and they're good things, and so that offsets the bad things that are in it.
There's nothing really good in spinach.
It doesn't. It's not good enough to make up for the stuff that's harmful in it, in my opinion.
What exactly is harmful in it? The sugar? Or what do you mean? How is sugar in itself harmful? You can really, really overdo it when you eat especially processed junk food today, which is full of drugs and makes you addicted to it, which is why you go back and consume donuts, for example, grains, the starch. That's all clear. I'm sure that everybody nowadays understands it, even though a lot of people still eat that. But what is actually the problem with fruits themselves, especially if they are wild? We'll see what he says.
So yeah, I don't have anything to do with fruit and honey. I have a video just called Fruit and Honey Are Not Carnivore, and I sort of go through.
Yes, when you define the carnivore so-called diet as you eating a bunch of cooked meat, sure, but the biological definition of a carnivore is an animal that eats at least 20% of raw meat. That's it. So even if an animal is eating 20% raw meat,
no, that's not what a carnivore is.
he hunts some animals and the rest is plants, fruits, whatever, 80% fruits, then he's a carnivore by definition, biologically. And a human who eats 100% cooked meat is not a carnivore by definition. There's just no animals that eat cooked meat. Yes, I get it. You're still eating meat. That's all fine. But if we really want to perfectly define it, the carnivore diet has just nothing to do with actual carnivores, which is why the title of the diet is a joke. And fruits and honey can absolutely be part of a real carnivore's diet and eat it anyway.
Stops you.
Okay, I'm gonna skip the rest